Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us this evening. There's been a lot happening over the last few weeks, and I brought a couple of friends along to share their thoughts on current events and trendy hot topics. So I hope you're ready for a little girl chat. Without further ado, let's talk about it. I feel you. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Lynn, and joining me today for a little girl chat are two lovely ladies who enjoy a little bit of girl chat. So first up, she's no stranger to the show. She's the owner of Moss Life, LLC. She's worked in the field of social work for almost 17 years, and she's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So welcome back to the show, Miss Cherise Moore. Hey, girl.
Hello.
And joining us today for the first time, she's VP of Human Resources for Volunteers of America. She's a governor-appointed judicial tenure commissioner and a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Welcome to the show, Miss Danielle Cheney. Hey, girl.
Hi.
Hi, Danielle.
You just sound a little more excited than that. But I do have to mention that both of you ladies are also fellow MSU alumni, so go green.
Go white.
You ladies ready to get into a little bit of girl chat?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So we recently marked the 100 years since the Tulsa Race Massacre that destroyed homes and businesses of the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, also known as Black Wall Street. At that time, it was the wealthiest Black community in the United States that was home to most prominent Black-owned businesses. We're talking about grocery stores, banks, hotels, offices for doctors, lawyers, dentists, just to name a few. Today, we've seen a lot of business flourishing, of course, that are Black-owned, but nothing near that caliber. And I feel like we're always, as a community, falling a little bit short in supporting our own. So why is supporting Black-owned businesses important to you, ladies? And what are some ways that you think that we can support our Black-owned businesses? Danielle, I'll start with you.
Well, I mean, you just said it. The Tulsa Massacre is a very good example. You know, we're told as an African American community that you have to pull yourself up by your bootstrings, go get jobs, start businesses, and we didn't have the same resource. We know this. We didn't have the same resources that, non-people of color had, yet we still persevered and we were able to do it. And for me, the fact that the powers that be were so threatened by that they massacred an entire community just to keep us from being successful, to keep us from thriving, lets me know that we aren't even aware of the power that we have. And so a way to kind of revisit that and push that a little forward more so than we are, is to support Black businesses current time. I think it's homage to that time period. And so we have a duty to support one another. And so I'll go ahead and say it. So Cherise was lackluster when she said hi to me because she's my bestie. We've all known each other over 20 years now. But Cherise is an entrepreneur. She's a Black business. And so I'll be honest, sometimes I forget to take my CMOS, but whenever she has a pop-up shop, whenever she's doing something, when she's got a new flavor coming out, I'm cash apping her. Because if I'm going to support anyone, it's definitely going to be her. And so,
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Snookums.
Okay,
but but it's just very important. We owe it to ourselves. You know, any community that's that much of a threat, that people will take your lives because they see you prospering, they see what you're on the cusp of. You know, I think we owe it to ourselves to push and see how far we can go. So,
absolutely agree. Cherise?
Yes, I agree with Danielle. It's our responsibility, basically, to support each other. And I feel like we don't support each other enough. Whereas you look at other people or other cultures and they support each other a lot more than we do. So I feel like it's our community, it's our responsibility. So we can get back to creating generational wealth and just, creating wealth within our communities. And, another good reason why I feel like we should support each other is because supporting Black businesses and having a Black business makes us feel like we have a sense of ownership.
Absolutely. I agree with everything you ladies said. So I know many people might not know, but June is African American Music Appreciation Month. Did you ladies know that?
I did. They're starting to market it a bit more.
Yes, exactly. Or Black Music Month. I know some people know about that term. So it was actually initiated by President Jimmy Carter in 1969 to celebrate African American musical influences that comprise an essential part of our nation's treasured cultural heritage. So in 2016, President Barack Obama actually noted that African American music and musicians have helped the country to dance, to express our faith through song, to march against injustice, and to defend our country's enduring promise of freedom and opportunity for all. So we've had a number of influential Black musicians along the way, including Duke Ellington and Etta James, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, our favorite Sharice Tupac Shakur, and even the controversial group NWA. So whether you ladies are getting ready to go out or driving in your car or cleaning your house on Saturday morning, who are some of your favorite Black musicians and why? Sharice, we'll start with you for this one.
Well, you said one, Tupac. Everybody knows he's my favorite. And Prince. A lot of people don't know that, but I love Prince. But the reason why they're my favorites is Prince was basically a musical genius. He could play every instrument. And I saw him in concert. What year did we win the championship? The Pistons. It was like 2004. And he was amazing. And so from that, I gained like more of a respect for him. And then Tupac, of course, everyone knows he's my favorite, but he was just amazing. And for someone that died 25 years ago and his music is still on rotation, and generations just love him. Like my 12-year-old niece, like Tupac is her favorite rapper now. Yeah. So I wish he was still here because I feel like if him and Biggie were here, a lot of rappers such as Jay-Z and Nas, they would not be as big as they are. I feel like Tupac would definitely, especially with everything going on with racism, he'd definitely be involved with that. Maybe even politics of some sort. But yep, Tupac is definitely my favorite. So.
Yeah, and absolutely. When you listen, I'm right there with you. When you listen to some of his records, you actually hear a message in them. So
exactly.
I absolutely agree with you. During this times, we definitely probably would have heard something from him.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah.
Between Sharice and Rapping T, I don't know. I'm going to be a big. Well, first off, Saturday mornings cleaning the house. Anita Baker. So that's just that. You can't negotiate that.
Yeah.
But I will be a bit cliche. I initially did not like this artist. I thought I tend to stray from people that everyone else are just clamoring to. Mm-hmm. So when Beyonce first got popular, I was not a fan. I wasn't. I was turned off by the fact that everybody else was not turned off. Just being a hater. I'm woman enough to admit it.
Was that when she was a part of Destiny's Child or when she went solo?
Destiny's Child, solo, all of that.
Destiny's, she's better as a solo artist.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the reason that I say that she's influential has absolutely nothing to do with her talent. I mean, she's talented. I have learned to put some respect on her name. She's definitely talented, but she's a philanthropist. She's a social activist. She does so much. And the fact that we don't know about it is what's impressive to me because she's not doing it for the gram. She's doing it because she's passionate about making change. And I actually believe that she's influenced her husband. We know Jay-Z probably did something with his financial resources, but I think she's encouraged him to do more, and just them building pipelines in Africa for better water treatment, just things that we don't know about.
Right.
For me, she has the platform, she has the financial means, and she's not just talking about it, she's doing it. And she's doing it and not getting validation from everyone else. She's doing it because it's something that's important to her. So I give her props. She's top of the charts in terms of her abilities, but the social activism.
I agree. Absolutely. So Sharice, Danielle says she got Anita Baker on Saturday morning. Who you listening to? Saturday morning, clearly.
I'm not even gonna say.
Oh, I already know. Okay.
Who do you think it is?
Easy.
Absolutely.
I forgot who I was talking
to. Absolutely. And I cannot wait for September 3rd. Absolutely. Yes, that's my Saturday morning. Don't get it twisted. Like if it's a Sunday, I like to listen to my old school music, and Isley Brothers is my go-to. For something real calm. Yeah, like for a nice, if I'm trying to relax, Isley Brothers is someone I go to. So
good choices, lady. Good choices.
I want to hear about Jenny May or Jenny Mai kicking your butt in September. So I'm gonna need you.
Jenny Mai would never. Let's put that out there. Let's put that out there. Next question.
Well, moving on.
All right, moving
on. Well, of course, we all know that several people were laid off during the pandemic, and many of those people haven't returned to work. And that's actually caused a lot of small businesses to complain, and some even to close due to the lack of help that they have in their establishment. And many people over the last couple of months have been blaming that on the additional $300 that was provided on top of the employment benefits for that reason. Although that additional unemployment assistance has been eliminated in several states, many people still haven't returned to work. Recently, Governor Gretchen Whitmer here in Michigan announced plans to offer eligible laid-off employees an additional $300 per week bonus for returning to the workforce through September 4th. So Danielle, from an HR perspective, do you think this incentive will help people get back to work, or what are some additional changes that you think need to happen to, get people back to work and get some of these businesses functioning?
Absolutely. I think it will. Anytime you incorporate some type of financial incentive, it incentivizes. I just being in the profession, our biggest competitor in terms of locating quality talent has been unemployment. And, at the onset of COVID and with the relief plans, with the additional payments for unemployment, a lot of business owners and employers were really kind of coming down hard on employees. I never saw it that way. We're in the middle of a pandemic. People are dying. People do not. We've got children who don't have school to go to. There's no daycare available. And people are afraid to go to their places of business and contract coronavirus. So, if they found some type of medium where they can not go to work but still be able to pay their bills, they're going to take it. And I'm not mad at them for that. That's common sense. So in order to bring them back, one, I think we need to make sure from the employer standpoint that we have implemented all the necessary sanitation processes. We've got to communicate with our employees. And if we can throw some additional finances at them, we're going to have to, because it's going to take people have been extremely innovative. People have been taking these government loans and grants and creating their businesses, and they're finding that they don't need to go back to they are their primary employer. And so, to just, wake up one morning and say, hey, we want to start bringing people back to work, it's going to take a very thoughtful process. And step one.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think people, like you said, that $300, if that incentivizes people to get back to work and these businesses to get up and running, then I'm all for it, because we saw a lot of businesses close very early before, all of this was going on. So I'm just hoping that this will help keep those businesses afloat. So all we can do is wait and see.
Yep.
So another topic that was trending this week was endometriosis. So singer and Grammy Award winner artist Monica came out and talked about her challenges with endometriosis and how she had surgery before. So, Sharice, I know you've been very open about your endometriosis. Can you explain what that actually is and what your experience with it and how you manage it?
Okay. Well, endometriosis basically is tissue that's supposed to grow on the uterus. It grows outside of the uterus. So because of that, it creates extreme or severe cramps, longer menstrual cycles, vomiting, diarrhea, headaches. It's terrible, and really, there's no cure for it. All you can do is just basically treat it, and usually doctors they try to treat it with surgery, or depending on there are four levels of endometriosis. So depending on what level if you're at, some women need hysterectomies. It can lead to infertility. So and it's not it's you can't get rid. It's there. There's no cure. So doctors, like I said, they try to give you birth control pills or medication or surgery to treat it. But for me, I've pretty much been dealing with this since I was 12. But I wasn't diagnosed until I was at Michigan State. I was 20 years old. And I had for all those years, I didn't know what was wrong. So over the years, I've literally had to plan my life around having endometriosis, and it's just been extreme pain and just about all those symptoms that I've named. I've gone through it. But over the last few years, I've done some research because I don't want to continue to take medication for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. So in 2019, I stopped eating beef and pork for about a year, and it didn't help. Unfortunately, it didn't help. It made my situation worse. But in 2020, I researched just different supplements, and I started taking sea moss. I drank red raspberry tea, blue vervain, and also St. John's Bush, and just making sure I take my sea moss every day and drinking the tea 7 days and before my menstrual cycle. And during it's actually really helped. So I've gone from being sick for 4 or 5 days, can't leave the house because I'm in that much pain, to now, having mild to moderate pain for like a day and a half. So I really try to, encourage women to, definitely talk with your doctor before you do anything, but just try to do something natural. We don't want to keep taking these medications. And like I said, there's no cure. So just definitely try to find something natural to help you, because it's definitely helped me. And I can actually, I don't have to plan my life around things now. So, around my cycle. So it definitely helps, but it affects you physically, and it can affect you emotionally because you feel hopeless, because there is no cure. So, but thank God, I made some changes and it's definitely helped. So I encourage women, if you do have endometriosis, please try to, change your lifestyle so it can get better.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you found something that's actually helping you. So that's a plus. Yeah. Thank you for that. So I know something that I talked to you ladies about before was this whole social media craze. So, everything, especially with the younger generation, is the microwave mentality. They think they see someone on social media and they have the jewelry, the cars, the lifestyle. They think if they don't have that by the end of the day, that their life is over. There's no hope. If they don't have it quickly, they don't have to work for it. They don't know what's going to happen. So what are your thoughts on these influencers and the use of social media? Do you think it's having a positive or a negative impact on our community? Danielle?
Ooh, unfortunately, I think that it has the potential to have a positive impact, but it has more of a negative impact right now. Mm-hmm. We didn't have social media when we were growing up, but we had TV, we had movies and music. And I was always raised in a household where, this little music and these little TV shows ain't real. Your role models are right here in front of you, and this is what, you know, your foundation is. You can listen to this and watch this for entertainment, but that's not real life. And I think, unfortunately, we've gotten a little further away from that foundation, and so social media has the power now to kind of stray. And so if we're not mindful about what we're filling our minds with and filling our spirits with on a daily basis, it does have the power to affect us in a negative way. And I think we're seeing that.
Absolutely, we are. Sharice?
Well, I think social media can affect us in a positive way, but it can affect us in a negative way. I think as far as, you know, networking, and, you know, I see so many people, including myself, we promote our businesses on social media, staying in contact with friends and family. That's positive. I like that. But like you said, with the negative part of social media, you're watching other people, and, you know, you're seeing other people and what they have and what you don't have. And I think that brings about people dealing with depression, you know, low self-esteem. I think we've seen, you know, more people with suicidal ideations or attempts of suicide or committing suicide since, you know, social media. So I think it's our responsibility to teach others and ourselves, you know, to recognize what's real and what's not. And we also need to start disconnecting ourselves from social media. Sometimes we get too involved, and we need to put the phones down and, you know, go back to reading our books like our parents told us, go out, you know, do other things. I think we're just too connected to social media sometimes. So
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's important to note that a lot of people seem to think that these artists or whomever they're looking at are overnight sensations. Like, they, of course, don't see what goes into that. They don't see what goes into, you know, them being successful. Some of these people have worked for years before social media, so you don't know what they've been through. So I just want people to understand that it took them some time to get where they are too. Of course, you might see the onesie, twosies that, you know, are from American Idol or some type of TV game show where they're on a spot. And even then, just think about how long they had been putting into their craft before they got on that show, before those shows even existed. So it's not, you know, something that happens overnight. You still have to work at your craft, but I just hope people kind of get out of that mindset that if they don't have it tomorrow, that they're not going to have it at all. Just we need to, like you said, get away from that. So another big issue that has been floating around, one of my favorite topics, is the whole cancel culture. So that's been getting a lot of attention. And even just this week, Kevin Hart had came out and spoke about basically people not allowing other people to be human and make mistakes. I think even Sir Charles had talked about, you know, he's walking away allegedly because it's not any fun for him anymore. Like, everything has to be a conversation. Make sure you don't say that. Make sure you don't talk about this person. Make sure you don't, you know, look this kind of way. So what do you think is going on with the cancel culture? Do you think people are going too far with it? Or do you think some people actually have the right to, you know, say they need to be canceled? Therese?
I think people are going too far with it. You know, some situations, yes, you know, we have the cancel culture as far as canceling out these Karens. Yes, cancel them, you know, cancel the racist police officers. But I think it's going a little too far because, like, I feel like people are reaching now. Like me and you talked about this toy. I was really upset about Robert Downey Jr. In Tropic Thunder because they were comparing it to blackface. And me personally, you know, and some people may not agree with me and some people may cancel me after this. I don't agree that it was blackface, you know, and he was just literally, it was his role in Tropic Thunder for a movie to play a black man. So if we're going to cancel him, who else are we going to cancel? You know, some comedians like Dave Chappelle, because he gets up there and he talks about everybody, you know, nobody's off limits for him. You know, are we canceling the Wayans brothers for the movie White Chicks? You know, I don't think that we're focusing on what's really important. Like, what are some things we need to look inside our community? What we canceling inside of our community? What about in our family and in our household? Because, you know, you have those family secrets, you know, are we canceling those people? So
right.
I think the focus is just totally off with that. So
I agree with you. Danielle?
Yep, I agree. I actually was just having this conversation the other day. Something came up on my Facebook, speaking of social media, about Ice Cube. And I was like, wait a minute, I can't remember. Is he good or not? And I couldn't remember because I know that during the election season, we were ready to cancel him.
Right.
I think that it's human nature sometimes we're just angry. Sometimes as humans, we just wake up in the mood to be in a bad mood. And so we're not interested in hearing both sides of the story. We're not interested in asking the whys. And so I think that some of these instances are due to be canceled. Like Sheree said, these Karens, these crooked cops. But I think that we've gotten trigger happy with canceling, and we aren't asking the whys. I had to double back and really remind myself, like, no, I didn't cancel Cube, because I truly, we say, all right, I had to think about it. I couldn't remember. I didn't know what I was supposed to feel in that moment. Should I be happy? I didn't know. But Cube went to go meet with Trump to hear about this golden plan or whatever it was, this economic plan to stimulate underrepresented communities. And we said, oh shoot, Trump got elected. All right, well, we're gonna hold his feet to the fire. We're gonna make sure that he does something for the Black community. Well, step one is going to hear this man's plan. And so I applaud Ice Cube, because I'm sure he knew he was going to get some backlash, probably not to that extent. But I applaud him for stepping up and saying, well, I'm going to go see what he's talking about. He didn't come back and sell, Black people's souls to the devil. He went, heard what the man had to say, and said, all right, I'm going to be the overseer and make sure that you do everything that you're saying. And I'm going to make sure that what you're saying is acceptable. So I think that's definitely an example of how quick we are to cancel someone. And, as our parents always say, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Again, some people are due to be canceled, but I think we got to slow down a little bit sometimes and ask the why first.
I agree.
Absolutely. So I'm still trying to understand. Is R. Kelly canceled or no? Because I still hear people bumping his music.
Who, Cube? You know us though. It's the minute something else happens, they're back on.
She said R. Kelly.
Oh, R. Kelly is canceled in my book. I'm done. I got a 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Let them girls go home.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Damn. Next question. Next question. No, I agree with Danielle. It's different when you have, like, I have nieces, and it's different when you have children in your life, and that could be them, and I love R. Kelly music. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love his music, but yeah, he definitely needs to be canceled. I mean, he did it, so
allegedly. Yeah. But I was hearing
he did. Let it go. So you
how they say
Kelly and T.I., let it go.
I was humming feeling on your booty the other day, and I had to stop myself, like, wait.
We canceled him, right.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So sometimes in the clubs, and I don't know, I haven't been in the club in Lord knows how long, but I hear his music being played. So is it only his music that's canceled? Because he's written for everybody and their mother. Yeah. Or is it also the music that he's written that we're hearing sung by other artists? So is it just hearing his voice that's canceled, or his entire music?
We don't want to penalize the other people. So just him.
Just him. I got you. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll move on now. All right, ladies. So this weekend, we are approaching the 156th anniversary of Juneteenth, or as we like to call it, Freedom Day. It's the oldest nationally celebrated day to commemorate the end of slavery in the United States. Not to mention, Senate just recently passed a bill to establish Juneteenth as a federal holiday. So I'm excited to get together with my family this weekend and celebrate. What do you ladies have planned for Juneteenth? And what actually does Juneteenth mean to you? Danielle.
I just made plans last night to go hang out with this girl I know. She pestered us in group chat.
We're hanging out.
She wants to get you there one way or another.
And I'm going. But no, and actually I'm so excited. One, just because, this pandemic is it appears that it's starting to slow down a bit and we're slowly kind of getting back to some form of normalcy. So I'm excited to get out because of that. But the fact that it's a federal holiday now, like it's being recognized. 4th of July is great for y'all, but for us, we still have some trials and tribulations. And so the fact that now we can, so I just started a new job. Prior to that, I was with a nonprofit organization, and I was sitting in a leadership meeting, and I developed a culture council. So now every month we were celebrating a different culture or a different holiday. And I said in June, it's really important to me that we celebrate Juneteenth. That meeting is 17 other people, and they looked at me like, what? And so, I wasn't mad, but I certainly took that as an opportunity to educate them, enlighten them. And of course, oh, yeah, that sounds great. But, no, you're all going to know about this like we know about the 4th. So
exactly,
I'm excited to celebrate it this weekend. I'll be hanging out with some friends. And I fully intend to I got to find a cute Juneteenth shirt. And I'm going to put on a cute skirt, and a Juneteenth shirt and some heels. And
yes, honey.
Like power it out.
That's right. What you doing, Sharice?
Hanging with her. Hanging with her this week. No, we are hanging out this weekend to celebrate. But I'm really excited about Juneteenth. I'm happy that we're finally celebrating our history, and now we can kind of teach our children, our babies, about our Black history, because we know we definitely don't hear enough of it, especially in school. So this gives us an opportunity to kind of teach the babies about Juneteenth and our other Black history. So I'm definitely excited. I'm excited that we're recognizing it more. So yeah,
absolutely. Sounds like you ladies got some fun in store. Wish I could join you.
If we don't fall asleep, because we're old.
Just go early. That's all. Start early.
Right.
Early.
Maybe.
Maybe. So one last thing I have to ask you ladies before you go, of course. So who y'all got tonight with the versus battle? Eve or Trina?
I think this is a terrible battle, personally.
I know who Toy has.
We already know she has Eve.
Eve, yep.
That's right.
I told Toy, I think she was a rapper in her former life.
Yep.
I was rapper T in my former life.
Rapper T. No, I personally don't think this is a good battle. So I don't care. So I feel like could we have gotten somebody else? But then I'm thinking about like what other female rappers. I'm tired of Nicki Minaj. Who?
Cardi B. I didn't even know it was a versus. I was gonna play it off for a second, like, yeah, girl, probably. But I'm gonna just own it. I didn't even know.
No, I may watch a little bit of it, but I really don't care. I mean, I like them both, but not enough to where I felt like they needed to battle each other.
Like, how many hits do they really have?
I mean, Trina has. Well, she has some hits. She has some hits.
3. Got 3.
No, Trina has a lot of music now.
Featured. She was featured.
No, Trina has music.
Name 3 Trina songs right now. I'll wait.
Okay. Well,
honestly, Eve is a better rapper. So if I had to pick one of them, Eve is better. She's a better rapper.
Who you got rapping, T?
Right.
I'm going with EVE. Y'all know that.
Yeah. We already knew. Yeah, they could have anybody else. Like, why couldn't we?
There's no one else.
I could have gone for an Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley's Part 2.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely need to get that back on the docket for sure.
Even though it was 4 hours long, but I enjoyed it all 4 hours.
Yes.
So
love that one.
Yeah. No.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you for joining me for Happy Hour Girl Chat.
Bye,
thank you for having us.
Thank you, Toy, for
Till next
having
time.
us.
See you later, everybody. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.